YouTube, hope you guys are well. Raj here, back again with a fragrance review, this time from the house of Roja Parfums. The man behind this brand is Roja Dove. This fragrance is part of the Oud collection. Actually, you know what? I think it might be pronounced Aoud because that's how it's spelt, but I'm going to call it Oud from now on. And this one, I've been working off a decant which I've had for a very, very long time. This one is Musk Aoud. So there's a trio, the original trio, Oud, Amber Oud, and this one. So this is a pricey fragrance, and I just checked the price today, and the price actually has gone up since last time I knew about the prices of this one. When I first heard about this fragrance a few years ago, it was £495 for 100 ml. The price is now £595, so it's gone up by £100. What's that? 20%. So yeah, I mean, this is really expensive. This has kind of gone to a level I never thought it would go to, but that is the pricing of this house. You either accept it or you hate it, basically. So notes for this one: top notes of lemon and bergamot, heart notes of rose de May. So it's May rose. That is the month when these roses are picked. I'm just going off the Roja Parfums website. Jasmin from Grasse, the city in France. Very, very popular, very well known for fragrances and ingredients being grown there. Ylang also. In the base notes, and this is often the case with Roja Parfums fragrances, there are a lot of base notes. There is nutmeg, patchouli, oakmoss, precious wood notes. I've always wondered what these precious woods are. Sandalwood, oud, vanilla, tonka bean, birch, labdanum, leather, ambrette, and musk. So what I think about this fragrance and also the other two in this lineup were it's an oud fragrance, but it's actually surrounded by a lot of other notes. So it's not heavy on one note. It's actually quite well blended into the whole composition. Okay, so let's start with when you would wear this. Well, it does feel like a more formal occasion. It doesn't feel like a casual thing. I don't think if you're in a office-based environment you would wear this at work. I think it does feel like a dinner, drinks kind of thing. In terms of seasons, I think you could wear this year-round. I think it does suit cooler and colder weather, but I think just the softness of this fragrance means for me that you could wear this in all different seasons. Performance-wise, it performs really well. Performance is good on my skin. It's not amazing. I probably get like 8 to 10 hours, which is, I think, actually a pretty good amount of time for a fragrance to last. I mean, I don't need a fragrance to be 24 hours. And projection in the first couple of hours is quite strong. And you might want to be a little bit careful on the sprayer with this one. It does go a long way in the opening. And it's definitely one that will get you noticed. I don't think it's the loudest fragrance out there, but it does have some punchy notes. Alright, so what do I get? Well, the opening is pretty full on. It's not one of those which is going to be easy on the nose. And even though I do feel this is quite a rounded, quite a voluptuous, soft fragrance, the opening is pretty tough. And yeah, you get this kind of blast of strong, I would describe it as black musk. That's just what comes to mind. And an almost kind of ashtray kind of vibe, which you get a little bit in the original oud, which, I don't like, actually, because I don't really want to smell like an ashtray. And it is a bit funky, and it is quite potent, quite musky, and quite animalic, actually, in the opening. So it's a bit of a surprise. But give it a few moments, half an hour, let's say, and actually it starts to soften up. I get a lot more of this very sweet amber, it's like a rose, it's dipped in amber. If you imagine like the amber note, amber is actually a mixture of different types of ingredients, but it does have that kind of floral, powdery, sweet effect, very syrup-like. There is a kind of like the warmth and the cocoa type, not cocoa, but the dryness that you might get from a patchouli coming through, and also maybe a touch of like resins and like very dark kind of waxy type materials, which I get. That's the kind of feeling I get with this fragrance as the fragrance develops. And it is actually quite sweet at this point, which is a nice contrast to the kind of muskiness which is still there, and also a touch of that woodiness coming through. The oud in here, well, you know, oud comes in so many different forms. It comes in from different countries, different grades, and it can smell very different depending on where it's come from. I'm not going to say that oud is not in here, but it doesn't really jump off my skin like that one ingredient doesn't jump out to me as being very, very noticeable. I just feel it's blended in with all the other base notes to add to this sweet, floral, smoky, kind of dry, herbal, almost patchouli type effect, which is actually very enveloping and has it kind of has the feeling of like very warm skin, you know? I kind of get that feeling with this fragrance. It's a very sensual fragrance in the base, which is a nice contrast to that opening. It's definitely a fragrance that I think if you're into like these ouds and heavy musk and more Arabian style fragrances, I think you'll love this. I think if you are somebody who's not really into that, you are somebody who's into the fresher, cleaner, soapy type fragrances, don't even go near this one. Do not even go near this one. It's quite potent, but you know, there are other fragrances like from, you know, like Montal or fragrances which have a lot of Indian oud in them, which are much more potent. This one has a kind of Roja touch to them, where he has an ability, or whoever makes the fragrances has the ability of adding this very voluptuous, very rich, quite dense and quite velvety, smooth edge to the fragrance. I think it's really good. I think it's worth checking out. I don't think the price is... I just don't agree with the price. I think it's way too expensive for what you get. I think there are many fragrances which I actually prefer to this fragrance, or like in equal measure, which cost a lot more. So I'm kind of thinking, why would I spend this type of money on this fragrance? It does come in a 30 ml. It does come in a much higher concentration, which is known as something like Absolute Précieux or something like that. So, you know, if you wanted to get your hands on it, you probably could in different forms, which is good. So in terms of my overall rating, I'm going to go with definitely a high score. I'm going to go with 8.5 out of 10. That's pretty much based on performance and smell. I'm not going to factor price into here because, you know, it's so subjective. You know, you could get this at a discount, maybe if you're lucky. I'm just going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely worth checking out. Guys, have you checked this one out? Let me know. Also, a little bit of an announcement. I've started up my Instagram page, so the link is down below. Check it out. It's going to be a mixture of stuff. I'm going to talk about fragrances. I'm going to talk about cigars. Not talk, but like show you in picture form, and other, you know, other random stuff going on in my life. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Also check out my Facebook page, which is purely fragrance related, and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And let me know your thoughts on this fragrance, the brand, and anything else you have to say it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.